Hi, guys. Welcome to another planning session on how we use real life experiences to teach our lessons. So, on March 4th, in case you didn't know, there is going to be a lunar eclipse, and everybody across the United States at some point will be able to see it. So, I think that this was a great opportunity to teach the sun and moon and earth relationship, light and shadow, and patterns in space. So, this is how we're going to do it. Starting on day one. Day one is all about noticing. We're going to be just looking at the moon. I'm going to ask her some questions. What do you notice about the moon? What shape does it look like? Where is it in the sky? I'm not going to be over explaining. It's going to be one of those things where a quiet moment where I just want to hear my daughter's thinking. So we're going to do that on day one. And then she's going to just have a quick sketch of the moon exactly as she see it. I'm not going to be correcting. There's no wrong. There's no wrong or right answers. You're going to be using this sketch when we get to day 4. So that's day 1. We're going to be doing the noticing part, and then we're going to watch a video. We're going to look at the NASA video on what is a lunar eclipse. Why am I doing a video? Science is not my area of expertise. So as a homeschool mom, when I can find an opportunity for somebody else to teach it, instead of me having to do this deep dive and figuring it out, that's what we're gonna do. So she's gonna watch a video. When the video is over, not doing it with no pausing or anything, we are going to talk about what stood out, what objects were involved, and what do you think caused the eclipse. Write down what your child says word for word. Don't paraphrase, don't try to improve it. Their language is evidence of their thinking. So I do not want to replace my thinking with her thinking, because this moment is just going, it's not about the right answer or the wrong answer. So we're going to watch how you're going to be able to see how your child's thinking grows throughout the lesson. So make sure you write it down word for word. And then on day 1, we do vocabulary work. And you can use a dictionary, she can use Google, whatever, but our vocabulary words are going to be sun, moon, shadow, eclipse, and observe. So these are going to be the words that I know that she is going to need to know, well, at least have some kind of understanding of what these things are before we move into the day 2. So day 2 is our model day. Why the moon changes during the eclipse. My role today is going to be set it up and then step back. And we have several materials we're going to use. We have a flashlight. This is going to represent the sun. So we're going to have to be able to hold it steady. We have an orange, or you can use a ball. This is going to represent the moon, and you're going to be holding this out in front. And then you're going to have your body, which is going to represent the earth, standing between. So on day 2, what we're going to do is we're going to hold the flashlight steady. One person's going to hold it still. This is the sun, and the sun doesn't move in this model. Then we're going to hold the moon out in front. Your child holds the ball. It holds the ball at arm's length directly in the flashlight's beam, and you're going to watch it glow. Then when you move the moon into earth's shadow, slowly bringing the ball behind your body of the earth, and you're going to watch the shadow fall across it. Let your child experiment freely. And here's some questions that you're going to ask throughout this model. What changed when the moon moved behind you? Did the moon disappear completely? What caused the shadow? What has to be in line for this to work? And y'all, just listen. Your child is they're gonna be saying things, and you'll be like, how do you know that? But they just experience it. When your children experience the lesson in real life, the lesson sticks. On day 2, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to watch a video from Show Kids, as well as SciShow Kids. Where does the moon turn red? And then we're going to have questions like, what caused the shadow? Why doesn't this happen every month? What has to line up for it to be perfectly? We're going to be talking about that order: the sun, the earth, the moon. We're going to say it together a few times so they can stick in their head. Sun, the earth, the moon. These hands-on models are going to turn like abstract ideas into real understanding. When your child moves that orange into the shadow, something is going to click that no worksheet can ever replicate. So Then we're going to move on to draw the model. They are going to draw the sun, they're going to label it, they're going to draw the earth, they're going to draw the moon, they're going to draw the shadow. And this sketch is going to actually be used again in day 4 because you're going to see when we get there, we're going to put it all together and show how it builds on each other. Day 3 is our explain day. We're going to be talking about why we don't see eclipse every month. So this is where the understanding is going to deepen into something genuinely sophisticated. If the eclipse happened when the sun, the earth, and the moon line up, why doesn't it happen every month? This is the question that separates that surface level thinking from real understanding. And today your child is going to figure it out through movement. So our role today is just listening. After 2 days of guiding, your job is to just get a little quiet. I know sometimes that's hard for us as parents. So this is your child's moment to take what they've built and articulate it. Let them talk, let them stumble, let them correct themselves. And that's the real learning happening in real time. All right, so step 1, clear the space. You're going to move some furniture so you can have room to walk in circles. Your whole family is about to become the solar system. Step 2, assign roles. One person is the earth. They're going to stand still in the center. One person is the object. One person is, which is the moon, walks in the circle, and then the flashlight. Again, we got the sun. Then they're going to tilt the pad. Have the moon walk with a slight tilt, not perfectly flat, and notice that the shadow doesn't always hit. So as you move on, or as you move, does the shadow hit every time? Why? Why not? The tilted orbit is the secret, and your child is about to discover it with their own body. Then, what we're going to do, we're going to watch a movie, Crash Course Kids, the moon and its phases. So, it's going to talk about the different phases of the moon. And then we're going to have questions like, what is a lunar eclipse? And what don't we see? And why don't we see one every month? So, we're going to talk about it. And then I want them to explain it back to me because I want to make sure if they can explain it, they understand it. That's signs of real understanding. Your child uses their own words, not memorized phrases. They can answer follow-up questions. They self-correct when they realize something doesn't quite make sense. They connect today's learning to something they noticed earlier in this week. All of this is evidence of real understanding. And then on day 3, this is optional. I like to write, have some kind of writing within our activities. So on day 3, I am going to provide, we're going to do a writing. A lunar eclipse happens when? A quick paragraph. This is not essay writing. It doesn't have anything to be big and fancy. But if they can tell me, if your child can tell you when a lunar eclipse happens when, and then they'll be able to say it happens when the earth gets between the sun and the moon and it makes a shadow. How they're gonna know that, y'all? We just did all those activities. The moon turns reddish. It doesn't happen every month because the moon pad is tilted, so the shadow usually just something quick that they're able to write, and that allows us to know that they understand it. Day 4, experience and connect. Watching the science happen. So on day 4, we got our glasses. We're going to actually go and watch the eclipse. It passed in our area like 5 a.m. So we're going to just set the alarm clock to get up early that day. But if you do not want to get up earlier, depending on what time it comes in your area, that's okay. I provide a video in this lesson plan on the lunar eclipse and the time lapse. So you can actually see it on NASA's website live, or not live, or later on after it's done. So that's your choice. Day 4 is also a reflection day and a wrap-up day. So after experiencing the eclipse, we have, or the live recording, take 10 minutes, reflect. What surprised you the most? What do you understand now that you didn't on day 1? Where else do we see shadows affect this light? Well, where else do we see shadows affect light in everyday life? And you can try some wrap-up activities. This is going to actually also help you to see if your child understands. Can they teach it to someone else? Can they draw a final diagram, a polished version of day 2 sketch with labels and arrows and the confidence they built from the 4 days of learning? Record an explanation, a short video or audio recording. Kids like watching themselves. Turn it into something like a little keepsake moment. Or they can write a summary of or a paragraph or two in their own words for that. These are some quick activities that you can use to just reinforce the lesson that you did the last few days. And just as a quick recap, they're going to be able to explain how the sun, the moon, and earth work together, understand light and shadow, recognize patterns in space, and connect science to real life. All of this using real life experiences. So if you guys are interested in this lesson, I am going to add it below in the description. And I'm also going to be showing you moments on our Instagram page and our YouTube page of us doing these activities live. So, guys, thank you for joining in. I hope this helped. Leave me a comment. And if you have any questions, just let me know.